You guys didn't think I was going to do a negative album review, did you? The time for me has come to do so. Hey guys, Richard Metalfan here, bringing you guys a new 2017 album review, and today we're going to be looking into the new self-titled fifth album from the band Suicide Silence, which comes out tomorrow through Nuclear Blast Records. Now, before we get this out of the way, I just want to say, yes, I like Suicide Silence. I mean, I'm not like the hugest fan of them, but I like them. I mean, I liked their debut album, The Cleansing, a lot. I think that's their best album, in my opinion. One of the better deathcore albums I've heard. It just sounds really gnarly. I think with the little self-titled EP, which came out like 2 years before that, before they got signed to the big deal. And their next two albums, No Time to Bleed and The Black Crown, I thought were alright, but that doesn't compare to the debut. And then 2012, we lost vocalist Mitch Lucker in a motorcycle accident, and then he died from those injuries a day or so later in the hospital. And then about a year later, they got in a former All Shall Perish vocalist Eddie Hermida as their new vocalist, which I thought was a pretty when I first heard that at the time, I thought it was a pretty good guy to fill in those shoes that Mitch has. And then in 2014, they put out You Can't Stop Me, which to be honest, I thought that was a really good album. I thought it was their best since The Cleansing. But here we are in 2017 with the release of their new self-titled fifth album. And did this album exceed expectations, or what people thought would be as good as You Can't Stop Me? And I know a lot of Suicide Silence fans are going to get butthurt and dislike and talk shit. It's bad. Oh my god. When I first heard the song Doris, I couldn't believe how fucking simplistic it sounds. It just sounds like a shitty imitation of Korn. They try to be just like Korn but fail badly. And this is actually the first time Suicide Silence has ever done clean vocals on a record. And seriously, what happened to this band? Like, come on. I mean, I can respect when bands want to change and do something different, but this does not fit Suicide Silence at all. Like, take Whitechapel for example. Like this is the first time like sort of deathcore bands are starting to do clean vocals on their albums. Like Whitechapel does it well with their latest album, and with Phil Bozeman actually puts emotion into it, and it actually fits well with the songs. But with Suicide Silence, it just sounds just whiny and just utterly terrible. And there's like a lot of memes being made, especially like the first part of Doris where Eddie's singing Tee Hee, and that's being made like memes everywhere. And then we get to the next single, Silence, which, my god, this song is even worse than Doris. Ugh. And 4.5 minutes of actual silence would have been better than this actual song. I'm sorry, I can never get this album out of my head. I just wasted a good 45 minutes or whatever long this album was. It's just bad. Like, ugh. If I want to listen to this album, I'd listen to Suicide Silence. I'll just stick with The Cleansing. That's, in my opinion, still their best album. And also You Can't Stop Me. But this album, no. Like, and what's really irks me is like their drummer Alex Lopez just freaking gone off on fans that disliked the new sound that Suicide Silence is going for just personally lashing out. Like, you think when Suicide Silence first came out, they wouldn't bother them, and it didn't. But this isn't the case with their new album. I just think it's very childish and very immature. Just don't bother listening to this album, guys. It's not worth it. And if I were to give this a score, I'd probably give this like a negative 10 out of 10. It's that bad. It's nothing you would ever want to listen to. I've heard the leak. I just can't ever get my time back after listening to this. So yeah, that's my review of the new Suicide Silence, guys. Just, it's not worth it, and I just didn't bother going through it track by track. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next review. Keep it metal.